Well, tonight, religious groups who use loudspeakers and stalls around Leicester's clock tower have been given antisocial behaviour notices. Now, they're facing fines of £100 for using amplifiers or setting up obstructions. Well, Leicester City Council says that a public consultation found overwhelming support for the new restrictions, but it has sparked a bit of a debate about free speech and when that becomes a public nuisance, as our social affairs correspondent Jeremy Ball reports.
Sounds of the city on a sunny Saturday afternoon. Christians, Muslims and Hare Krishnas all spreading their message at the clock tower. Flags, stalls and loudspeakers are all part of the mix, but the City Council says it's gone too far.
So now the use of unlicensed loudspeakers and amplification have been banned under wide-ranging new powers to tackle antisocial behaviour here in Leicester. Anyone who breaks those rules can be fined £100, rising to £1,000 if there's a criminal conviction.
I think this ban is out of order and very unreasonable. They are telling us, the whole town is telling us to get lost. They don't want to hear what we are saying. That's in my words.
It's just about loudspeakers and amplification though, isn't it?
What they're saying is no amplified singing, no amplified preaching, and we're not allowed to put up any banners, whatever.
I'm not happy. Ban this, ban that, ban this.
We want to hear people speak, we want to hear people express themselves.
People have always used speakers to preach the gospel ever since they've had speakers to use. It's taken away freedom of speech, isn't it? If they can't preach the gospel of Christ, you know, and that goes for everybody, not just Christians.
Nearby, these chimes and drum are still allowed under the new rules, but the council says almost 9 out of 10 people who took part in its consultation wanted restrictions on unlicensed loudspeakers. The Public Space Protection Order also bans begging and street drinking. Obstructions like gazebos and banners need permission too.
If you're standing here and giving leaflets, you might be okay. The council were very polite when they came across, just mentioning that tables like this won't be allowed. There's 5 or 6 different things that are part of the new rules. One of those being bikes and e-scooters going through town centres, and I can see why you'd ban them because they're quite dangerous with how many people there are here. But tables like this are fairly harmless.
We're not allowed to have banners or temporary structures. I think it's pretty hard hitting on a lot of us, especially even the Christian community, even the Muslim community at large as well.
I suppose some might argue, is this the place to do it? Why not do it in a church or a mosque?
Well, I mean, it's been a tradition of Leicester for quite some time. It's always been done in an amicable manner, so it's quite shocking.
For now, they're only being warned about breaking the new restrictions. The fines will begin next month.
Jeremy's with me in the studio, and some pretty strong views there from all the people affected. I mean, have we had any response to that?
Yeah, interesting this, Anna, and I think it comes down really to very different opinions about what's acceptable. So I put some of those concerns to the City Mayor, Peter Soulsby, who is adamant that this does not impinge on free speech. And his argument is that this isn't about what they're saying, it's about the way they're saying it and making sure that that's not a nuisance to everybody else in the city centre. Have a listen to this.
It's an overwhelming message from people is that using loudspeakers is unnecessary and intensely irritating. Of course they can get their messages across out there. Of course they're entitled to go out on the street and to seek to convert people to their particular persuasion. What they're not allowed to do is to make a nuisance of themselves.
And has there been reaction from anybody else in Leicester?
Yep, quite a lively debate today on the BBC Leicester Facebook page. Some people saying, look, these loudspeakers are annoying, that it's time something was done. Others disagree, praising the gospel singers, suggesting turning the volume down instead. Overall, though, quite a lot of support for that ban on loudspeakers. And I got a similar response, actually, when I spoke to people in the city centre. Although, as you'll hear, some of their concerns weren't about religious groups.
I guess it does stop disruption a bit because you do get a lot of kids especially, they're just blasting random music.
I do actually think it's a good thing because the last time I came in I think there were about 3 people giving their views and yes, it is rather loud.
I think it's outrageous. Yeah, loudspeakers amplify voices so that voices can be heard about important issues.
I like the music in the town.
It is good, but sometimes it's too loud, you can't yourself think, can you really?
So, a ban on loudspeakers, banners and street stalls. But, I mean, that's just a small part of this kind of crackdown.
Yeah, this public space protection order also includes things like charity collections that don't have permission. People can be fined for riding e-bikes or skateboards antisocially. As we've said, restrictions on begging and street drinking as well. Now, at the moment, it's currently in force around Leicester city centre and New Walk and the railway station area, but the City Council says it could eventually be extended to other parts of the city.
We should keep an eye on that. Jeremy, thank you very much indeed for that.